Hey there, fellow adult collectors. Welcome back. David Eon here, and I've got a little bit of a treat for you up from the museum. And these are called Halloween Creeps. They were manufactured in 1980 and sold through the early part of the 1980s, usually around Halloween for the obvious reasons, because these are Halloween-style characters. And they were sold in a countertop display box by a company called Flexy. And I happen to have a picture of a sealed box, and I'll go ahead and I'll post that here real quick so you can see what that looks like. And so you'd get a box like that, and it had 48 assorted of these figures or so inside, and they'd sell them on the countertop and sell these figures for like a quarter or 50 cents or something loose. They were sold loose. They kind of look like gumball machine prizes, and that's where I originally got these from. Some years ago, I bought out a box lot of vintage 70s and 80s gumball machine prizes from someone, and that's where I got these from. And they're super bendy figures, you know, the typical wire figure. It's got a wire inside, and the Scarecrow won't stand. I've tried and I've tried, but you know, they have the split there, so he just won't balance. And I don't want to bend them too much, because this is the original position that they were cast in. These are unplayed with, unused condition, and I'd like to keep them that way. It's not the complete set. There's actually 10 in the set, and I'm missing the witch and the skeleton from this series, and then I'll have all of them. They stand about 5 inches tall. Just to give you a little reference there. So they're roughly 5-inch tall action figures, or bendy figures if you don't want to consider them action figures. You can pose and twist and bend them if you want to. And as I said, I'm missing the witch and the skeleton from this set, and then I'll have all of them. This is, of course, Dracula. I'm assuming that's Dracula because of his bloody fangs. Just a cool alternative toy. Made in China, printed on the front of his leg instead of behind him. Usually something like that would be printed on the back. You see the molding holes from where he was held for the casting. Normally, these types of, now he doesn't want to stand back up, these types of vintage bendy figures are in miserable condition. They're all torn and split, wires poking through, paint all rubbed off. Medusa here, obviously. Made in China. Medusa, are you turned to stone yet? Keep looking.
All you have to do is
And as I said, they don't stand very well at all. Here's Cerberus, the three-headed dog. So we get some characters from Greek mythology and some traditional monster figures. A succubus. I love how the succubus has nipples. Something for you gents out there. The succubus has nipples. That's a touch that I'm not so sure was necessary for a child's toy. Anyway, I got this huge box lot, he's falling over, of vintage gumball machine prizes, and I've since sold pretty much all of that off, sold it or traded it away. But I kept these because I just thought they were cool, and I remember seeing them. Sometimes you would find these in gumball machines, like rolled up in a ball inside one of those eggs. But as I showed you, it was also available as a countertop display. Creature from the Black Lagoon there. Now he doesn't want to stand. Everybody gives me a hard time. Stand up. The Mummy, or Rainbow Mummy, as it's typically called. Anyway, I think they're cool, and it's something that can be displayed loose because that's how they were sold. They weren't sold on a blister card or a pack that I'm aware of. The Hydra, 7-headed Hydra, or 5-headed Hydra in this case. And this one doesn't stand up. I tried because, you know, with the the base there, the 2 feet, you should be able to bend him up and stand him. It doesn't work. As I pointed out, these don't stand very well at all. They have hinged mouths, but it's not a wire in the mouth. And I've seen these broken or missing the tongues too. Not impossible to find, but they are kind of rare. They're rare to find intact, but they don't go for a whole heck of a lot. There's a scarecrow again. They don't go for a whole heck of a lot. Not too many people out there looking for these, but they are difficult to find in decent condition. And again, these are Flexy brand Halloween Creeps. And I just thought I would share that. Something different for you adult toy and action figure collectors who are interested in like 70s and 80s toys. Or my wheelhouse is like 1964 to 1994. That's kind of where I specialize. I know a lot about that kind of stuff, and I collect a lot of that. Although my interests can go backward or forward from there, I do like a lot of the toys that were produced in the 50s and 60s, as well as some modern things, because I do have a lot of like Mezco 112s, and I have some 6-scale figures and such. But I've always had an affinity for things that are right in that action figure pocket of 1964 to 1994. Do you remember these figures? Did you have any of these, or did you remember these from your childhood? You ever see them on display or play with any of these? Tell me about it in the comment section down below. Tell me if you remember these. I like to show action figures or other toys that people may not have ever seen before or may not remember at all. And that's why I do videos like this one. I get that very often when I show some random or oddball toy, and people are like, wow, you know, I grew up in that era and I never saw that before. Or, oh my god, I remember that. I haven't thought about that in years. And that's what it's all about, isn't it, folks? So let me know what you think. Do you think these are cool? Is this something that you would look for? Like I said, it's rare to find them in good shape, but there's not a huge demand, so it wouldn't cost you a fortune to put a set of these together if this is something that you wanted to collect. And if you're a loose collector, they were sold loose, so no big deal. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Please do give the video a thumbs up if you got something out of it, if you enjoyed that. I hope you did. Share it if you can. Subscribe if you're new. Check out some of our other videos. I do a lot more on this channel than just showcases. It's kind of like an all-in nostalgia channel. We do a lot of different things here. Retro video game walkthroughs and showcasing vintage toy commercials and toy discussions and all sorts of things. I think this one's my favorite, even though it doesn't cooperate. Out of all of them, the most detail went into this figure, I think. to get it all to come together, especially with the open mouths and the little tongues and stuff. Because, you know, these were poorly constructed and cheaply painted. And they weren't made to last, and the company that manufactured them didn't care. So for this one to hang in like this and still look the way it does is pretty rare. But yeah, share your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I love sharing with the community, and I hope to see you again soon. So thanks for watching.